Hello, I'm Lars with Ahrex hooks. There are many ways of tying mayfly duns. This one is one I call the teabag dun. It's made with burnt wings, which is a very nice technique if you want to produce a very accurate looking wing profile on a mayfly. The specific way of doing this one was taught to me many years ago by a fellow Danishman, Dennis Jensen, and his late father, Richard Jensen. And I'll show you how it's done. I'll start with making the wing. And the reason it's called the teabag dun is that this finely woven synthetic weave is actually from a used tea bag, one of these single-use tea bags. Quite perfect for burnt wings. I'm going to dye this one a light olive, just using a waterproof marker. Then with a pair of scissors, I simply cut out a section. Now I'm going to use these wing burners that Chiemco used to make, and you can almost see it on the shape of them that they are made for spinner wings. But with this little trick from Dennis and Richard, you can make very nice uprights as well. So I begin up by grabbing the piece in the wing burners, and then I just roughly cut it to shape. You'll need about 1 millimeter or 1.5 millimeters for the edges to fuse properly. And you don't want too much because that'll give a not very nice looking thick edge. And I'll just finish with cutting out this notch, like that. And keeping the wing burners closed, I simply fuse the edges quickly like that. And be careful, these wing burners can get quite hot. And as you see, there is a nicely shaped wing, which of course is originally intended as a spinner wing, but we'll use it as an upright wing. The hook is an Ahrex FW503 in size 16. Many mayfly types you can tie in a lot of different sizes. These burnt wings do have a tendency to spin the leader if you tie them too large, so with this particular style I would probably not go under, say, bigger than a 14, but 14, 16 down to a 20 or however small you can burn the wings, it'll be fine. And you can use a lot of different materials. If air can pass through it, that is an advantage. So I'll put on my tying thread. And for the tails, I'm just going to use this nice light olive hackle fiber. This is just a large feather taken from the top of the neck, the feathers you rarely use anyway. And just stroke them back so the fibers are sticking out at 90 degrees. Collect the butts, and I don't like the tails too long. That looks about right. Hold them on top of the hook shank as you tie down towards the bend. Now, just to lift them a little bit, I take 1 or 2 turns of thread underneath the tails and pull it forward. That'll also splay the tail fibers a little bit. Now this is an imitation of one of the small olives, so I will obviously use a little bit of light olive dubbing. In this case it's fly right, but any type of dry fly dubbing will do. Careful not to tie back over the tails, and then simply dub forward like that. Now I'm going to need a piece of thread to set the wings. So what I'll do here is simply I'll make a dubbing loop, take that to the front, to the top of the shank, and then tie it down. And this then just hangs back for now. Here is a hackle feather from the same cape, which will be the hackle. This will be a traditional round wound hackle, but I will be flush cutting it underneath when the fly is done. Hackle tied in, just a little bit of dubbing for the Ahrex. Not much. That looks good. Grab the hackle with your hackle pliers and then take a full turn at the back of the thorax and then move forward. And you actually might want to make this hackle a little bit denser than you normally would, because, as I said, I am going to flush cut it underneath. So I don't know, what was that, 4 or 5 turns? And then remove the rest of the hackle. And if you've caught any fibers, just knock them out with your scissors as well. I think I have a few underneath. Now I have this loop hanging back here. That's what I'm going to use to attach the wings. Now these need to be folded, so I find the easiest way is to grab them with a pair of tweezers and then fold. And let go. Check that the fold is at least fairly accurate. And when it is, give it a good squeeze here at the bottom. Turn them the right way around. Hook them over the loop of tying thread, and now simply lift up in the wing and slowly pull it down on top of the hook. Tie down the loop of tying thread on top of the hook shank. Just use a single turn there and then fold it back. A couple of turns is enough. Cut off. And a quick whip finish. Tighten the knot and remove the tying thread. And that's it. Now you can see the wing is only held in place by that little loop of tying thread. So in order to secure it a little bit more, I opened the wing out and then I come in with a drop of varnish. I like fly tight because it dries very quickly. And the advantage here is that you can now leave the wing splayed to give the trout a clear vision of 2 wings, or you can sort of glue them together with the varnish. I'll just leave them like that. I like it. And then turn the fly and trim the hackle underneath. Do take care not to cut off too much. And that's it. A very nice mayfly profile, and the flush cut hackle ensures that the fly lands wing up every time. Thanks for watching.